Alright guys, the much anticipated Bungie weekly update is out. I think the biggest thing on everyone's minds is the issue regarding the weapon changes and how the changes we were expecting didn't happen. So let's get into that first. I highly suggest you guys go read the weekly update as well to get John Wisniewski's full explanation, as I'm just going to be paraphrasing this for time's sake. So how did this happen? Well, basically the numbers that were put in the original notes weren't ready for prime time and just a preview. The numbers weren't updated prior to publishing, and no one on the preview team was close enough to the numbers to know there was a mistake. In an effort to correct the numbers in the patch notes, the pulse rifle numbers were also changed to something incorrect. This is what caused a lot of the confusion. None of it was malicious or a cover-up. But why did most of the numbers not change? The short version is that the damage numbers we see are not the true numbers. They're rounded down. So even though your damage might have gone from 20 to 20.2, you're still just going to see 20. So that's the summarized story. There wasn't anything malicious done, but it does raise some concerns to me of how information is presented to us in these updates. In the patch previews and notes, if we had the actual damage output numbers presented to us as something along the lines of, in PvP, X archetype of auto rifles will do 26 precision damage, up from 25, in addition to listing the percent base damage change, that would go a long way to helping people understand how their favorite weapon will be changed. Not everyone understands the percents they use, especially since the damage formulas are kind of complicated. Moving on to some other news, Urk talked at the beginning of the weekly update about the content we can expect to see moving forward. The first of these early 2016 experiences will be on a scale close to Festival of the Lost. The second will be on a far larger scale than anything you've seen since the release of The Taken King. There's also another significant update to the world and sandbox planned in this same window. To that end, the update described above are all currently slated to hit across winter and spring of 2016, with more to come as well. Hearing that makes me feel a lot better going forward. I would really just like to 100% know if we're going to have to pay for any of that. If not, cool. If we are, then when and what can we be expected to pay for some of this content? The current model looks like we're not going to have to pay for anything, which is fantastic, but if we are, I'd just like to know sooner rather than later. Anyway, we will be discussing this weekly update, the Sparrow Racing League, PlayStation Experience, and much more on the podcast this week, recording in just a few hours. So be sure to check that out when it goes up later tomorrow. This has been Patrick Casey with Planet Destiny, your guide to the Destiny universe.